Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie, and today I have a little chatty video where I'm going to be reading some assumptions that you have about me and content creation in general. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So the first assumption we have is people who post videos frequently are full-time nail tubers, and I'm jealous as hell. Obviously, speaking for myself, I am gonna say that this is true. I am doing content creation full-time essentially, so I mainly am posting on YouTube, but I do also post on Instagram as well, and occasionally I post on Reddit, but I don't really count that under like my content creation job. So I guess for me specifically, it is fair to call me a nail tuber and assume that I do this full time. And I'm pretty sure that might be true for a lot of people as well, but I feel like there are some content creators out there who do post consistently, but they also have like a full-time regular job, like a 9 to 5 outside of that, which I don't know how they do it, but kudos to them. This next one is interesting. It says, I think good content creators have great organizational skills, time management, are creative and very self-motivated, and are passionate about the content they create. So I definitely would say yes and no. At least when it comes to me specifically, I would like to think that I am very passionate about what I am creating, and I'm not just like creating slop or something for the sake of putting things out there. But I have had that thought before because I feel like I do post pretty frequently, especially compared to like some other creators. And I don't know, like it's hard to draw the line on what's good content, because on one hand we can look at something that's good, meaning it's very high quality, like they use a professional camera, they have expensive lighting, just the production value of the video is like really high quality, and my videos are not that. As I'm sure many of you know, I just record on my iPhone 11 Pro. It is an old phone by now, and I just have like my ring light, a secondary kind of tripod light, definitely not fancy equipment by any means. And when it comes to like the production of my videos, the only thing that I can really do extra is, you know, picking a background song that sort of fits the theme, obviously dressing up in my intros and outros. So, you know, I do care about what I'm doing with my videos, but I guess compared to like other creators, you know, it's kind of hard to like judge based off of that, if that makes sense. But as far as the other things too, I think in general, I agree where I would like to think I'm pretty organized. Like I love having a little to-do list and, you know, just generally physically organized with where things go. But the biggest thing that I struggle with personally is the time management. I know that might sound crazy because again, I do usually have like a pretty consistent schedule of posting generally 3 times a week, but more often than not, I'm leaving a lot of things to like the last minute, where I am usually working on multiple videos at once. I don't just work on a video, have it finished, and then, you know, put it in the pipeline to have it uploaded next week or something. I'm usually just like working on a little bit here, a little bit there, and more often than not, there's usually something that I'm doing like the day before it's being uploaded, which I know is so bad. I wish I was a lot better at that, because obviously it's just like extra self-inflicted stress, you know? So I definitely could be better, but I think I do a pretty good job at what I'm doing. Then I had 2 assumptions that I feel like are kind of similar to each other. The first one says nail polish content creators spend more time with polish not on their nails than on. And the other one says, I assume you don't wear polish for your own enjoyment anymore because it seems like you don't have the time. And this is another like yes and no. I'm sorry if like the wishy-washy answers are so annoying, but I mean, for example, I have one hand painted and the other one not. So it's kind of just hard to have a clear-cut answer on things like this. Since I have become more of like a nail tuber as opposed to just a general content creator where I'm posting more on like Instagram and it's not every day, I have been swatching a lot more, trying to do more full hand swatches for my videos. And that obviously leaves less and less time to paint my nails for like my own enjoyment. So there definitely was a time where I just wasn't really painting my nails at all because I either was not bored of it, but I don't know, I kind of had like analysis paralysis maybe, where there's just so many things that I was swatching and I just didn't know what to wear. It's like really that meme or whatever of, standing in a closet full of clothes and just being like, I just don't know what to wear. I know it might sound silly, but I definitely felt like that for a little while, and it just, kept my nails pretty bare, just using like base coat or something. And that's obviously still the case sometimes. But I feel like lately I have been a little bit better at like keeping my nails painted, just trying to paint them for my own enjoyment. I sort of talked about this in a somewhat recent video a couple of weeks ago on going over the polishes that I wore in January, where I've had a lot of people kind of like request a video like that of just what am I actually wearing. And in January, I was surprised that I did wear like a decent amount of different manicures, like for my own enjoyment. This month has been off to like a little bit of a rough start, which I'm sure you can all understand why, but I'm still doing my best, with wearing what I want when I can and have the energy to do so. But yeah, as a content creator, it definitely can get to that point sometimes where you're not, I mean, at least speaking for myself, like I don't think I've ever been burnt out from doing what I do, but it just can be a little like, I just don't know what to wear. The next assumption says content creators have a hard time keeping up with trends/algorithms, especially if content is filmed in advance. I think this would be true in general because especially that point of, filming things in advance, you already have things like in the pipeline ready to go out. But like I already said a bit earlier, I don't usually do that. So I don't necessarily struggle with this specifically. The only kind of conflict maybe is just I do still have like a schedule of, what I would want to have posted, but because things can be like a little last minute, I'm also pretty flexible, if I have to like swap videos and stuff. It's not that big of a deal usually for me. And so if I do have like a last minute video to do, especially if it's like a short form video, I technically could do something like that. But as I'm sure you also know, I don't really follow trends a lot of the time as well. So it's like rare that I really care about jumping on a trend or like what's going on in the algorithm and, following with that. Like sometimes I will if I think it's fun, but yeah, I imagine it's a lot harder for people who do have like that whole thing of, oh yeah, I have all of next week's videos like uploaded and scheduled to post, but that's just not me. I love this next assumption about me personally. It says that I'm a cyborg or that I have more than two hands. I wish, because then I would just be able to do so much more. I know I've had a couple of other like content creator friends ask me how I managed to do all of the videos that I do, and that is something that I've thought of like recording a behind the scenes of, how I make a video or something. I'm sure that would be interesting just because I love any kind of video that's like, a peek behind the curtain, but I just am sort of struggling with like how to go about filming it. I don't know if I should do like a time lapse or if it is something that is going to be longer, because since I am going to be filming this video, it is going to add on time to like what I'm actually doing, if that makes sense. Like if I sit down and do a swatch video, right, I'm not worried about, talking to the camera or doing anything else or like checking in and saying, okay, so this is the part where I do this or blah, blah, blah. So I'm not really sure how it's going to like work out, but I don't know if it really matters or if I'm just overthinking it, but it is something that I am thinking of doing just because I think it would be cool to see, and also maybe to help out other people who are interested in starting their content creation journey. This next one says, when I get a PR package, I drop everything and start filming immediately to get it posted on time. And As you can probably guess, this is not true. Don't get me wrong, I do get excited when I get a PR package. I do open it immediately, but I don't start working on it right away, usually because I already am working on like other videos or something. And especially these past couple of months, like in the winter, you know, when packages are just super, super cold, I try to like let them hang out in my room, you know, for 24 hours, get to room temperature before opening them, just to like not affect the formula, the application, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely more excited to open the package, but not to really work on it right away. This next assumption is a little bit long, so bear with me, but definitely one that I have a lot of thoughts on. It says, many haven't had media training or voice coaching. Lots of content creators sound like every sentence is a question with an upward inflection, which makes them sound uncertain and not confident. Tone, cadence, and word choice make a big difference in how you're perceived, in parentheses, for good or ill. I would guess that for the majority of content creators that you're watching, whether, you know, they're nail polish content creators or just anybody else on YouTube, that they are not media trained. I would say for me, that is absolutely the case. I definitely get the point that, you know, tone, cadence, word choice, all of those things can affect how I'm being perceived or other creators are being perceived. But I also can't help that media training would make me or other creators just sound a little too buttoned up. You know, it's a little too close to corporate speak for me personally. It's just not what I enjoy listening to. And you know, speaking for myself, I'm obviously just sharing the videos that I want to share in the way that I want to share them and just being myself. And I love watching other people be themselves and share like their personality, no matter how it is. And, you know, if they are speaking with like an upward inflection, which I, again, am very guilty of doing, at least I know when I do that, when I'm describing different colors or undertones, you know, the differences in particular polishes, it's like because I'm always asking, do you know what I mean at the end of those questions? Because a lot of these things are what I'm perceiving, but that's just me. Like you might be perceiving it slightly different, or you know, it's just very subjective. I at least don't think it's the best to review something super, super objectively. I know sometimes I will try to say that, like, you know, objectively, this is a good polish, just it's not my personal favorite color or something. So yeah, it is an interesting line because I do get where they're coming from. I know it's something that I don't like doing, where I say or like a lot, and with a lot of my videos too, I try to edit that stuff out. And I'm so sorry if me pointing out, you know, me or other people saying or like makes you more aware of that, because I know that can also be really annoying to listen to. But yeah, at least when it comes to me, I just like listening or watching, you know, other creators who are themselves, whatever that looks like, and aren't so buttoned up where they're just an extension of the brands that they're talking about, if that makes sense. And no, the irony is not lost on me that I ended that with a question. This next assumption says, content creation is demanding, but kind of like a dream job. I generally would say yes to this, where it can be demanding at times, depending on, you know, how many collections are coming out and doing different videos or whatnot, or especially if you are being paid to review things, you know, some weekends can be really hectic compared to others. I am not trying to say that it's difficult by any means, especially compared to other like real hardworking jobs, like to the heroes in healthcare, even the retail workers, where I used to be one of them. I know how hard that can be. So I'm not trying to say that content creation is as demanding as other jobs, but you know, it does have its highs and lows, just like anything else. But as somebody who does love nail polish, I would say, yeah, that this is a dream job. I definitely enjoy doing content creation a lot more than the jobs that I had before. This next assumption says, I have a photographic memory or something close to it because my recall of polish comparisons is incredible. I feel like I got a comment pretty similar to this, but they didn't say photographic memory. It was another word, but I'm just blanking out on the name and I don't remember what video it was to look for it, but it's pretty much similar to photographic memory. And but I don't know if there's like an actual, you know, list of requirements or something where someone can say like, yes, I do have photographic memory versus I'm just really good at memorizing things. So I don't know where I fall, you know, on that spectrum, but obviously, yeah, I have a pretty good memory. I think I always have too, because even in like previous jobs when I was working in a doctor's office and remembering like all the patient names, you know, putting names to faces, I was really good at that. The same as back in college when I used to be an RA and keeping track of like all the students and everything and like all the buildings. It's a lot, but yeah, I don't know, my brain is just really good at that. And obviously now my brain is more focused on categorizing or cataloging just nail polish, which is really fun to do, obviously for my content creation job. But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of wish I could just remember other things instead. But I am grateful for having good memory when it comes to the comparisons and stuff, because obviously that's how I want to help everybody by showing them. And these last couple are more directed towards me specifically as a person, not really as a content creator. So this next one says, I'm way too sweet, so I avoid confrontation. Yeah, I would say that this is definitely pretty true, at least the part of avoiding confrontation. It's just always really scary to me, and you know, I usually don't like rocking the boat. I definitely appreciate that people can think of me as being a sweet and nice person, because that's what I strive to be, but I'm also a human being and I can also be very, very angry sometimes. And unfortunately, I know that I can also be very emotionally reactive, and it's also hard for me to, in the moment of like those high emotions, to logically communicate how I'm feeling about things, which is why confrontation is so hard for me, because I don't want to approach it in like this hostile, you know, negative way. Like I feel like confrontation just has a really negative connotation, but it doesn't have to be that way. But emotionally, it's just like hard for me to approach it in a gentle way in the moment. So that's why I avoid it. Then this next one says, you seem like you'd make bomb baked goods, which I'm flattered that I look like I can make a nice little apple pie or something, but I have never done that. I've only made 2 things from scratch, which are chocolate chip cookies and blueberry muffins. And I would say they came out, you know, pretty good. Like maybe not the best. I don't know about a bomb baked good, but you know, they were yummy. But yeah, like I talked about, I think in my holiday favorites video, because yeah, that was the video that I shared polishes that were inspired by Christmas cookies. I talked about how I'm not really a baker, but I've had a couple of other like baking channels pop up and they just look so tempting. I'm not gonna lie, most of the time I'm just like, it's so much work and I just would rather buy some cookies or something. And the last one that I have for now says, I'm very zen and practice a lot of yoga. And this, unfortunately, I don't want to say that it's like completely false, but you know, I try to be zen, right? But lately, with everything going on in the world, like I can't be zen at a time like this. And unfortunately, I haven't been doing yoga nearly as much as I should be. I feel like the last time I did it was like several weeks ago at this point. I know that is something that would help me get more zen, right? And to like calm down from the absolute fuckery that's going on in the outside world. But it just is so hard to like show up sometimes. So yeah, despite my username being Polished Yogi, I'm not doing yoga or even meditating nearly as much as I should be. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up some assumptions about me or content creation in general. As always, I would love to know what you think of this video. I definitely had a lot of fun just yapping about these and, you know, seeing what your assumptions are and how true or false they were. Again, I really tried to answer based off of like my personal experiences, but I do have a good number of friends who also do nail content creation, so I feel like I can safely answer in a general way too. But you know, I'm also not trying to answer for other people it's obviously just a very subjective thing, right? But hopefully these answered some of your questions that you may have had about me or just this job in general. I'm pretty sure I answered most of the ones that I got, but if there are any other assumptions that you have, feel free to leave them in the comments and I can either just respond there or maybe do a part 2 if you want to see some more. Either way, make sure you let me know down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!